Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Nay. Thanks for tuning in, and today we are going to show you how I got this little pink skeleton look. So if you want to see how I got this, just go ahead and keep on watching. Starting off with a bare face and some pink water activated paint, I'm just using a foundation brush and I'm blending that all over my face. Normally I would have blocked out my eyebrows using some glue, some washable glue, but today I was feeling a little bit lazy. So then I go right back over that bad boy with a sponge and some pink water activated paint, and then once I am done with all of that, I go back in with that foundation brush and blend that bad boy on in until it's nice and opaque. Now, using an eyebrow pencil, I am just marking out the hollows of my eyes, and I am just doing this so that way I have a little outline so that way I can fill those in later on. Now I'm taking the shade of the Capricorn from the Zodiac palette from ColourPop, and I am just going over those little lines that I made with that brow pencil and just kind of darkening them up a bit. I did take, the little hollows of my eyes a bit higher than I normally would because I didn't block out my brows, but that's okay. I'm just blending those guys on into each other so that way it looks a little bit more seamless. Now going in with some black water activated paint, I'm just placing that on my eye and blending it out with my finger. I do that and then I set the top with shadow as well, just so that way it is nice and dark and opaque, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm just setting that shadow. I'm using that same shadow from the Zodiac palette, the Capricorn, so I just go ahead and fill that on in and blend out the edges as well. Now, using the shade Bori from Juvia's Place Masquerade palette, I am just taking that on the contours of my cheek. I am actually taking this a little bit higher and lower than I normally would, but I am just trying to bring some life into my face and bring some of that pink color so that way it looks a little bit more playful for us. So that's what I'm doing here. I am just shading in the temples of my forehead, my cheeks, as well as my chin, because we cannot forget to tie the look together, so that's what we're doing here. Now, using some black water activated paint, I am just outlining my nose, and then I go ahead and fill that in as well. So now I'm just mapping out where I want my teeth to go. I use my actual teeth as a guideline to do this, and I thought it was easier just mapping out the top teeth first, so that's what I did. And then I went ahead and connected those teeth doing little upside down U shapes. So that's just what you see me doing here, and I went ahead and did the top teeth until I got those how I liked it before I mapped out my bottom teeth. And then I also did the same thing by connecting those with little U shapes as well. So I just went ahead and did that to get all the nice little detail in. And then once I was done mapping out my teeth, I went ahead and lined the inside of, my lips just to make it look as if those were actual teeth, to give it a little bit more depth and to make them look closed, because if not, then it would have looked open. So that's just what we're doing here. Once I got my teeth how I like them, I went ahead and marked out the hollows of my cheek, and to do this, I just used that same little pencil brush and some black water activated paint. I made like little half ovals there, and then I went ahead and did a little line towards the back of my cheek to make that look like a little contour as well. So then, of course, I had to do the chin because it wasn't looking cohesive. So now we went ahead and did that. And I scrunched up my face a little bit and made us look a little angry, and then patted that out because, we're kind of happy. We're a happy little school. So that's just what I'm doing here. Now, taking the Capricorn shade, I went ahead and shaded underneath those little lines that I made, and I connected it in the center and blended it out to make it look as if it's a nice little gradient, to make it nice and seamless for us. So that is what I am doing right here. So I went ahead and did that to both sides of my face. So now I am just shading in the opposite side, so that way, we pull that look together. So here I am just doing the same exact thing, just making it a little bit seamless as I'm blending it out towards the edges there. Once I'm done with that, I also got to do the same thing to that contour. So I lay a little bit of shadow down, and then once I'm done laying that shadow down, I go back in with a little blending brush and blend that guy all on out just to give it a nice little smoky effect. So I make sure to do that on both sides of my face. And then I also did that on my little chin as well. Now going back in with some black water activated paint, I'm making a little bit thicker lines on my skull to kind of give us like that little skull-like impression. And then I go ahead and blend that out with the tips of my finger. And then of course I go back in with that little eyeshadow brush and lay down some of that Capricorn shade and blend that out as well to make it look nice and seamless and to tie the whole look together, since we did that on our cheeks and little contour and chin as well. So now on to the fun part. I'm taking some pink water activated paint and I'm literally just placing a heart on my chest. This is super fun and super easy. I'm mapping out where I want my little skull skeleton thing to be. So yeah, that's just what I'm doing here. I'm making some little ribs, and this is very easy. I'm just using a foundation brush and some water activated paint, and as well we cannot forget our little vertebrae, because that is very important. Alright, so now that we got our little skeleton looking the way we want it, we go back in with that Masquerade palette and that Bori shade, and then we just start shading in everything that we just colored pink. So here I am just shading in that little heart that we are using as our chest plate there. And now I am doing, our little ribs as well, because we cannot forget that, well, I guess this would be considered your collarbone. So yeah, that's just what we're doing. Now, taking some black water activated paint, I am literally shading everything that is my skin in with black, and this honestly took the longest time ever, and I had to go over it a couple of times just to make it nice and opaque. So here I am just filling in everything. Honestly, this is the longest part of the tutorial, but it did make it look very nice and very cool. So yeah, I just went ahead and outlined everything before I went ahead and filled everything on in black, and I did have to do this a couple times, like I said. So that is just what I am doing right now. Like I said, a very tedious product, but worth it. This is the final result, you guys. I really hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. Please give it a big fat thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to my channel so that way you don't miss out on any more of these Halloween tutorials. Peace and love to you always, and we will see you in the next video. See you later, alligator. Bye!